Canadians, Americans, members of the Commonwealth, and patriots the world over, welcome to the show that tells you what they won't, exposing the fake news, conspiracies, and corruption within institutions that govern our lives, and red-pilling the nations one fact at a time. It's Weathering the Storm, with your host, Canada's Red Pill, Billy Joyce.
Hey folks, and welcome to another show. Sorry I haven't been with you in a while. I've been cleaning up my laptop, and I was having some problems. Every time I tried to record, my laptop would slow right down, so I consulted an expert. Cleaned up the laptop quite a bit. Did some research on doing videos with this phone and trying to get working efficiently, being that I'm so freaking busy with work. And of course, I've got the other YouTube channel that I'm trying to work on, and of course, everything I do here. All that being said, as you can see by the title of the video, what we're being told about what's going on in Ukraine and what's been going on in Ukraine and what may continue to go on in Ukraine is not jiving with what's actually being reported from the ground. I spoke to you guys in previous videos of Patrick Lancaster. I think in one of my videos I had mentioned that Patrick Lancaster had not done videos in a bit, and then if you go to his YouTube channel now, you'll see that he's uploaded quite a few videos in the last few weeks, including some that have titles like Pro-Russia and Pro-Ukraine People Living Together, Head at the Front Line with the Russian Army, Ukrainian Commander Defects to Russia, Artillery Battles Rage in Southern Ukraine. He's obviously, Patrick Lancaster's obviously made friends with the Russian military and with the Donetsk People Republic and their military. And it's clear that he's been living in Ukraine for 8 years. And one of the videos that you'll see here on his page is Ukraine shells family of 8 and a promise to save a life. And in there you'll see how after the Ukrainian military was defeated in eastern parts of Ukraine, when they couldn't do anything against the Russian military, they turned on the civilians that are supporting the Russians. And that's one thing that we haven't been told in Canada. It's one thing we haven't been told really in Western media, period, is that this isn't a new conflict. This isn't a new war. This has been going on since 2014. Volodymyr Zelensky has been lying on television. We know that Justin Trudeau has been a vocal supporter of Volodymyr Zelensky. The CBC, CTV, Global News, most of the print newspapers have always sided on the side of Zelensky and always portrayed Russia as the big bad evil. And as Canadians, of course, we have short memories and we forget how the CBC, CTV, Global, and Trudeau lied to us about the Convoy, for example, that happened in Ottawa. And to this day, Pat King and Freedom George have been in jail in Canada for over 100 days now without trial. And the worst thing they did was organize a protest and be successful at it. That's pretty much the worst thing that they did, that they're guilty of. They haven't been tried. Since when in Canada can you be held in jail without trial for over 100 days without having committed any kind of criminal offense? Like it's not like they're accused of murdering anyone. But this is what we have right now in Canada, where people that haven't faced trial are being held in jail. And yet Trudeau's out there saying we got to support Ukraine because we got to support democracy. Since when is holding people in jail for 100 days without trial part of democracy? Since when is that the new normal? Is this... So in Ukraine right now, we've got our prime minister, we've got Joe Biden, we've got the mainstream media encouraging people to support Ukraine. Support Ukraine. Send money, send weapons, send money. Canada's already sent $1 billion, $1 billion worth of aid, whether that be military equipment or other. The United States are pledging like $40 billion bucks. I'm pretty sure Western nations have sent more money to Ukraine already than Russia spends in an entire year on their military. And we're losing. And when I say we're losing, the West is losing. That's my money and your money that's being sent there. And for what? To help Zelensky and a military that incorporated a literal Nazi regime within their ranks. Okay, so when Trudeau sees one Nazi flag associated to a convoy in Ottawa, that's never to be seen again, and there's no other Nazi flags to be seen, well, then he declares the entire convoy and the supporters Nazis. But yet, when there are literal Nazis with Nazi tattoos, swastikas, people that worship this Bandera fella, I don't know the ins and outs of it, the history of the Nazis and the different factions of Nazis, but Trudeau will call what are actually populists Nazis. Because at the convoy, for example, there were black people, there were Sikh, there were Middle Eastern people, there were white people, there were white people that were French, English, of descent of all kinds of different European nations at the convoy, at the protests in Ottawa back in February. There were of every color, creed, religion, nationality you could think of was part of that convoy, but everyone was labeled a Nazi. Does that make sense? Trudeau even accused a Jewish MP of being a Nazi sympathizer. And CBC didn't correct it. But yet we can send billions of dollars to the Ukraine where they have literal Nazis in their ranks. That's okay. And of course, because CBC and everybody else is just pushing the government narrative like they always do, well, what's happened now? We've heard of Canadians actually going overseas and going to fight on behalf of Zelensky in the Ukraine. We've heard of British soldiers or British people going to fight on behalf of the Ukraine. Before I get into that, I want to point out a few other YouTube channels that are doing a good job exposing what's really going on in the Ukraine. There's this one here. It's called The Dive with Jackson Hinkle. And a lot of people say, well, Billy, why would you promote other YouTube channels when you're trying to build your own? Well, it's because I'm not greedy. I'm not even monetized on YouTube. I was demonetized. Most of my stuff was removed years ago. I had 24,000 subscribers, but it is what it is. And I'm always interested in the truth. And The Dive with Jackson Hinkle is certainly a good spot to go find that. You'll go see all kinds of videos there and information that you'll never see on the mainstream media. Another lady, she's actually Canadian. She's only got 34,000 subscribers on YouTube. It's unfortunate. Eva Bartlett. She just did a video 7 days ago, about a week ago. There's one that just came out today. I didn't see it yet. But she has one that's called Ukraine Has a Kill List, and I'm on it. And if you go watch that video, you'll see that there's actually a list that exists. And journalists like her and Patrick Lancaster that are actually in Ukraine reporting what's actually going on are on a kill list by Ukraine. So are you happy that your tax dollars, your Canadian tax dollars, are going to fund kill lists and going to fund the targeting of civilian targets? You can go watch any of the videos on either Patrick Lancaster, The Dive with Jackson Hinkle, or Eva Bartlett's channel, on any of those channels. Go watch some of their content, and you're going to see evidence of crimes against humanity committed by the Ukraine. Now, is Russia committing crimes against humanity? It's quite possible. Have we captured them on video yet? Not that I've seen, but I've seen some pretty nasty stuff captured on video done by the Ukrainians, or done by the Azov battalion within the Ukrainian regime. But what's worse now is that not only are people that are going over there to fight on behalf of Ukraine getting killed in battle. That's coming out in the news now, that basically Ukraine doesn't stand a chance. But the other sad part is that some of these people that have gone over there to fight with the Ukraine, for the Ukraine, on behalf of Zelensky and on behalf of Trudeau and Biden and the rest of the New World Order, I mean, everything's tied together. The World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, the United Nations, They're all tied together, and they all have their dirty little hands in Ukraine. I'm positive of it. And a lot of the conspiracy theories that people have been talking about for years are probably going to be revealed coming out of Ukraine. What people don't realize is that Russia, the Russian Orthodox Church, is the church that refused to go along with the merge between the early Christians and the Romans. The Roman Catholic Church is probably responsible for more apostasy and more people turning away from their faith than any other church on the face of the planet because of their sex abuse scandals. The Russian Orthodox Church is the church that said, we're not joining Roman paganism with Christianity. Russian Orthodox, to me, I think Russian Orthodox or Greek Orthodox might be the closest thing we have to the earliest days of Christianity. And of course, when you're in a battle of good versus evil, you certainly don't want the oldest version of Christianity playing any kind of good role on the planet, now would you? No, instead you have places like Ottawa that has the uncapped pyramid engraved into their streets. You've got places like Washington, D.C. that has the United States that has the uncapped pyramid on their dollar bill. You've got all these different countries with all this different power that we're told are developed and that we're modern and we're civilized and we're democratic. But yet we have all kinds of satanic symbolism, occult symbolism, secret society symbolism, literally etched in the walls of our parliament buildings, literally etched in our streets, literally etched on our currency. But yet people, conspiracy theory, it's a conspiracy theory, the New World Order isn't real. I remember a time when the Bilderberg Conference was considered a conspiracy. Now it's just open. Everyone knows about it. Christian Freeland was just at the Bilderberg Conference. You see, the Bilderberg Conference is a lesser evil now than, say, Bohemian Grove. So we'll admit Bilderberg exists, but we won't admit Bohemian Grove exists. We won't go there. It's the same nasty, nasty group of world leaders. I mean, right here in Nova Scotia, we just had, I forget who it is, maybe he serves, I'm not sure if he's a Liberal MP or if he's, anyway, just the young leadership of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab. You will own that thing and be happy. We've been brainwashed into believing that these accolades that are associated to the Queen or to rich people make us good or make us intelligent or make us better than other people. It's idiotic and it's satanic. It's satanic at its root. And that's what we're in right now, a battle of good versus evil, the truth versus lies. Was it truth that this is just a whole new battle going on in Ukraine? No, that's not true. It's a lie. It's been going on since 2014. The Ukrainian military, the Ukrainian leadership, attacking their own people in the Donbass, in the eastern regions of Ukraine. That's what's been going on. Sorry I got sidetracked there, but so now we have headlines because from going to The Dive with Jackson Hinkle and then following up on some of the stuff that he said and looking just into the mainstream media and what's being reported. Well, right now we have people who left Western countries to go fight on behalf of Ukraine that are now facing the death sentence in courts in the Donetsk People Republic. And the Washington Post is reporting on it, and they'll say, separatist court gives death sentences to Britain's Moroccan who fought for Ukraine. And then you can scroll down the article. It says, the British government on Thursday said it was deeply concerned following Russian news reports that death sentences had been handed out to 2 British fighters and a Moroccan man, the first foreign fighters to be sentenced since the start of the Ukraine war. So in that sentence, it's the first foreign fighters to be sentenced since the start of the Ukraine war. So they continue on. Aiden Aslin, Sean Pinner of Britain, and Brahim Sadoun of Morocco were charged as working as foreign mercenaries in the self-declared breakaway Donetsk People Republic, which Moscow recognized as independent on the eve of the invasion in late February. Now, what's interesting there is the Minsk agreement. This should have been going on. Their oh gee, what's the word I'm looking for? Their independence or their sovereignty should have been recognized back in 2014. So the Washington Post continues in their article. Robert Jenrick, a conservative lawmaker who represents the constituency where Aslin's family lives, tweeted that contrary to the Kremlin's propaganda, Aiden Aslin is not a mercenary. He called the conviction a disgusting Soviet-era style show trial. It's the latest reminder of the depravity of Putin's regime. Okay, so that's a British politician saying that it's a disgusting Soviet-era style show trial, and that contrary to the Kremlin's propaganda, Aiden Aslin is not a mercenary. Okay, well, here's where the problems start for the Washington Post, because Aiden Aslin, I believe, was arrested all the way back in April. If you go do I got rid of the Google search, but if you go do a Google search for Aiden Aslin, you're going to find articles going all the way back to April. So he's been captured since April. They've pretty much ignored it. Now that he's been sentenced to death, well, now it's a big deal, and they're claiming he's not a mercenary. Well, the problem with that is that Aiden Aslin, not only is he being treated fairly by the Russians and by the Donetsk People Republic until, I guess, his death sentence is carried out, he was actually given the freedom before being sentenced to start a YouTube channel. And on his YouTube channel, he's already got 4,640 subscribers. And on his YouTube channel, he's got Greetings from Custody, My Confession, beginning, My Confession, the second part, Waiting for the Trial, and Legal Support for All, and then Court Verdict. And if you watch all these videos, I'm not going to play them for you, but if you watch all these videos, you actually, you know what? I'll start playing this one for you. I'll play this.
Hi, this is Aiden Aslin with my second video for the YouTube channel. People messaged questions and whatnot, and I'm going to be a brief video this time. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to answer all your questions.
Now you'll notice on his forehead there, he's got a scar. And in some of the early pictures that came out, that was still bloody. And of course they were portraying it as he was being abused. Well, that scar's healed up. It looks like he's got clean clothes every time he makes a video. In his videos, he claims that he's well fed. In his videos, he also claims that it's because of Western media that he decided to fight on behalf of the Ukraine. It was because of Western media that he believed the Russians were the ones responsible for the horrible treatment of people in eastern Ukraine. And you can go watch all these videos, but I just wanted to play you what he said himself here.
So a bit about me. Previously, I was with the Kurdish YPG in Syria.
Hold on.
In 2015 when I first went.
He was with the Kurdish back in 2015. Yet the Washington Post quotes this Robert Jenrick, a conservative lawmaker, who says, contrary to the Kremlin's propaganda, Aiden Aslin is not a mercenary. But yet, if you go to Google and you look up the definition of mercenary, it says right here, a professional soldier hired to serve in a foreign army. Okay, so he's British. Apparently he served... Here, look, listen to him again.
I was with the Kurdish YPG in Syria.
So he was with the Kurdish YPG, a soldier. I'm assuming he was paid to fight with the Kurds in Syria. Now he's paid to fight with the Ukrainians against the Russians. That sounds to me like the definition of mercenary, a professional soldier hired to serve in a foreign army. So even now, the Washington Post and others can't be honest enough to call a spade a spade. They're still going to try to spin it and say, Russia bad, USA good, Russia bad, Canada good, Russia bad, Ukraine good. Are you seeing through the lies yet? I sure hope so, because they're lying to us about a hell of a lot more than Ukraine. I'm done now.
If you enjoyed this video, you may want to take a look at other videos you find on this page. Don't forget, if you like it, push the subscribe button under this video, and feel free to like and share with all your friends. Follow me on Twitter by following the link on this page. If you want to interact, feel free to post a comment, but please, no obscenities. Thanks for watching. Billy Joyce signing off and reminding you that I'm here to help you weather the storm.